Dying Light the Beast is out and I already have 20 plus hours on it. Now, I wonder, can you beat Dying Light the Beast without weapons? Would I beat the entire game relying on my puny hands, and can I beat my biggest rival, the Baron? Let's head straight to it. Every day was the same. After the events of my heroic acts in Harran, I got captured and I get tortured for 13 years straight. Is this what I get for being a hero? I didn't know what the hell the Baron was doing to me all these years. Was he making me into his personal toy? For his own fun? Was he turning me into his femboy? I accepted my fate, and just when I thought it was over, Haram the monster had a crash out and released me from my chains. Oh, I'm still alive! And this is where my journey starts. There was a walkie-talkie calling out to me, and she was helping me. But who was she? She told me to inject myself with painful steroids, so at first I couldn't handle it, and am I gonna die? But hearing her voice awakened a spark inside of me. It motivated me to handle it, and so I took all the effects, but it wasn't over. I came across my first ever zombie, and he wasn't gonna go down from a single punch, so I started giving this zombie a beating in his life with my fist, and surely he finally gives up and submitted to me. But there was more who wanted a piece of my fist, so I started punching their red till I found myself in a lab. The girl from the walkie-talkie told me to hold off my arrogant intrusive thoughts back, because there is no way I am beating them all at once. She told me I was too weak. I wasn't gonna let that slide, but I did what I was told. If I wanted to survive, then I will have to follow her orders. There's more zombies along the way, but this is no problem for me. I made it to the elevator, and just as I was waiting, the door behind those virals are open somehow. Huh? Is this my end? How can I take all of them? Just then, something awakened inside of me. Something I never knew existed deep inside me. I started slaughtering these virals harder than how my drunk dad hits me, and oh my god! What was that? What happened to me? There was no questioning that. What matters is, I have to get out of the Baron's lab before he catch me and make his personal play toy again. I finally made it outside. I did what the girl told me to do, and I finally met her. Turns out, her name was Olivia. She explained that the Baron wasn't making me into his personal femboy. He was making me much something worse than that. He was making me into a cringy furry who was unleashing his beast. Huh? Just then, our talk was interrupted by a chimera. She gave me a machete, but nah, I don't need that shit. I started spanking his chimera, but he was too strong, and he was spawning more zombies. Damn it! I can't even kill a zombie, let alone a horde of them. And I'm not even allowed to use weapons for this challenge. He did manhandle me and spanked me 3 times. And just when I thought I was submitting to this huge monster, my inner furry side came out. And I defeated this chimera. Not physically, but mentally. Just with the power of my cringiness. And he actually went down, so I went in for the hit and put my entire fist in his insides. I sat there bloody and wounded, but victory was mine. Olivia came up to me and said that my performance was so bad. Huh? Why was she so disappointed? I just used my beast form to beat him, but why? Why should she expect so much from me? Why should she expect me to beat this huge abomination with just my base form? Just then, she injected me with deadly steroids, and I surely couldn't take it. I passed out. I woke up again and tried choking her this time for doing this to me. But no, I couldn't do that. She was only making me stronger and saving me from the Baron. After 13 years of torture, my only goal now was to take revenge from the Baron. Olivia explained, if I wanna be stronger, then I shouldn't be a twink and man up for my ultimate fight with the Baron. She told me to get some clothes for my first mission, but nah, I'd rather flash my enemies with my charm. So I head out and started beating out every zombie I see with my fist. But there was a particular enemy I wanna pick on, the Baron's soldiers, but huh? How can they dodge me so easily? And oh my gosh, that's a lot of damage. I gotta get out of here. Olivia told me to investigate the town hall. I did, and what the hell happened here? There's some zombies which I obviously struggled. Just when I was investigating for clues, a big boy jumped out of nowhere. I couldn't even beat Baron's soldiers, but you know what? I'm not even gonna complain anymore. This big boy is just all talk, like he just aura farmed on me and didn't care if I hit him with my Twinkie hands. And this idiot just accidentally hit a gas tank and exploded on his dumbass. I'm not gonna lie, our battle was so intense, we were creating shockwaves, but after a while, I kept on spanking his ass till he can't take it anymore. Now to get stronger, I injected myself with steroids and then head on to continue my journey. Along the way, I met some people and oh my gosh, this guy, he's so hot. What? And then afterwards, I met this sadistic lady who was shooting me because she didn't know me. She told me if I didn't do the job for her, she would shoot me. And so I did. Now we're on neutral terms. Again, the hot guy came over and this time I was definitely seducing him with my charm. But oh no, he was infected. I tried to stop him but oh no, it was too late. But whatever. Okay, so I decided to talk about Jacob, about what happened in today's events, but instead he dismisses me and said that I have to find another beast. Huh? There was another furry other than me? Without hesitation, I head outside to meet my twin. I followed his smelly traces which led me to Baron's soldiers and to this church. Some annoying ass zombies which I took care of then led me to this cave. This goon wasn't gonna let me pass, so I made sure to show him who's the boss here. I finally made it to the end of the trace, and just when I was looking for clues, the beast jumped on me. Oh no! He looks so majestic, and what is this position? Is he gonna f me? I wasn't gonna move and letting him top on me, but instead, he just threw me like a peeble and knocked me out unconscious. I woke up, I contacted Jacob about my very personal encounter with the beast. Oh no, this hideous creature started chasing me and I gotta run, and who knows what they will do to my frail body if they manage to catch me. But after some running, I managed to escape. And when I was walking out of the cave, I came across this guy who needed my help. I was gonna ignore him since I wasn't the type of guy who helps without benefits. I couldn't just leave him to die like that, so I stepped in to help and accidentally hitting him on the process. After helping him, I demanded him to give me beneficial stuff for helping him, and he gave me a grenade! Huh? I just saved this for a grenade. I can't even use weapons or throwing stuff for this challenge, and he gave me a grenade. Without hesitation, I started beating his ass and oh, look at him trying to fight back. So I kept on punching him till he was defenseless and knocked him out. Not only that, I started kicking his body, punching his ass, and beating this little shit. And after all that torture I gave him, I decided to go back to Olivia and hopefully she doesn't notice the blood on my hands. And hopefully she doesn't know what I did to that poor guy. Olivia told me she found another chimera and more roids for me to inject. Hell, I was already ripped. But I needed more. I needed to be on the Baron's level to defeat him and get my revenge for making me a furry. Without hesitation, I decided to go out, take this car, and drove to the location. Upon arriving there, the disgusting ugly motherfucker showed himself and oh, here we go. He was surprisingly smaller than the other chimera I faced, but whatever. I took like 2 chimera steroids. There's no way he will scratch me. Oh, yeah, I underestimated this small fella and he managed to get me on my knees and bend my ass over. But my furry side wasn't gonna let that slide. So I grabbed him and oh, you tried to escape? Come here, you little bitch. And I mercilessly pummeled him. Not only that, I ripped off his leg to make sure he can't walk and then snatched his blood. I injected it to myself and right after that moment, I felt myself getting stronger. I went back to Jacob to tell him about my adventures and my very intimate encounter with the bees. And now they want me to turn on the power plant. After all that work, I have another. Seriously. I went to the power plant and I met this very ugly fella. And not only he was bad looking, he refused to help and sacking off to his computer, watching some questionable stuff. If he doesn't want to help me, who am I to bother him anyways? So I fixed this entire power plant and just when I was turning it on, he was there. Was he here to congratulate me? No! Turns out, he was working for the Baron. Ah, that little sh**. Just when I knew it, they cuffed me and slammed their gun up my ass. And now I won't narrate anything. Just listen to this line of Crane.
I wouldn't push me if I were you. You don't want to piss me off. You're gonna see a really ugly side of me.
So I unleashed my furry mode, immediately started mauling them like ants. And after that incident, I went to tell Sheriff and Jacob about the evil act of this ugly fella and his business with the Baron. Now my job for the people was done. I'll have to do my own mission from now on. So I started investigating this monument to see what the Baron was on about. I didn't find anything important other than this useless weapon, which I can't even use for this challenge. I kept on traveling, cleared out this apartment, and slept on the job. I was awake by Olivia, who told me about the Baron's E and F plant. I immediately went there and sneakily made my way, and hopefully they don't see me taking out their friends. I tried to sneak behind this big boy, but oh shit, I slept. I tried to run, but damn it, it was locked. I have no choice but to fight them. To my surprise, they were kinda stupid, falling for my little tricks, but this big boy was the smartest out of them all. But I still have one more move up my sleeve. And yet, he wasn't gonna go down. I was tired. I was gonna release my furry mode on him. But after one desperate punch, I finally knocked him down. But it's not over. I was tired, and there was more men. So I released my furry mode on them and started interrogating Johnny Sins. Took this gas canister, drove to this location and applied it to this thing. But Baron's soldiers wasn't gonna let me slide. So I pulled out my furry mode on them once again. And finally, it was time. Throughout my adventures, I had gotten stronger. I wasn't a wimp anymore. This was my time to prove Olivia who the real man is. I started punching his cheeks, but to my surprise, he kind of liked it. And my hands were getting bloody from punching his cheeks a lot. And I was getting tired. My hands was getting more bloody and injured from punching his butt cheeks. And he wasn't gonna go down yet. Huh? How is his butt cheeks so strong? Has he been training it? It was very suspicious and questionable. Our fight lasted morning to overnight to daytime again. It was the most intense fight ever, but I had a plan. That was definitely the hardest fight I've ever had. I took his blood, went back to Olivia for some testing, and guys, after that incident, I realized that other lives matter. I completely regret what I did to that guy that day. So, I spent my day helping other people like this guy and this guy. I also started powering on the electrical stations in the city for the people. I was praised in the city for doing all that crap. And after a while, Sheriff noticed my work and she was wrong about me. She was willing to help me with the Baron now. So we gathered up to the Baron's hideout, destroyed Baron's soldiers, and together we were unstoppable. I was looking for the Sheriff and she wasn't there. I kept on looking and she was there. Huh? Why was she pointing a gun on me? And to my surprise, she was also working for the Baron. Huh? I have been deceived and betrayed. I tried to run, but it only took some tasers to put me in my place. And there he was. He revealed himself. The Baron. You tortured me for all these years. I wasn't gonna let him see a piece of me, so I used all my speed and power to carry this guy and accidentally releasing something inside this container. Dang, he was so hot. I was kinda distracted till the Baron shot some explosives. I reacted fast and went inside this container. Gosh, I was betrayed once again. And seeing Baron's aura, it frightened me, sending a chill up my spine. If we were one-on-one there, I would have lost. Olivia was right. I needed to get stronger. I made my way out of this cave and I was gonna kill Sheriff. To be honest guys, Olivia was the realest one here. Out of all my adventures, she was the most loyal by far. And she was the whole reason why I was doing this. The whole reason why I was alive. But before I head back to Town Hall, hear me out. I wanted Sheriff to think that I died in that cave, because if not, she would just run away. So I did some errands like clearing out electrical substations and claiming this house for myself. And to my surprise, oh! It was the guy I gave a beating back then. And he needed help again. I had a lot of character development throughout my adventures, so this time, I truly helped him. He tried to run remembering what I did to him, but no! I stopped him. I told him I was sorry. So let's name this guy Jaquavius. Did my apology essay. We were clearly friends now. And with that, I walked away feeling a little better myself. Now I sneakily made my way to Town Hall to confront Sheriff, but damn it! She wasn't there! I tried to tell Jacob about it and also telling him how she was working for the Baron. He was also shocked. He told me that there was more people who can help me. I had enough. No way. So I went outside to look for the sheriff. I kept on looking for the sheriff, but she was nowhere to be seen. And then someone tried to communicate in my head. What the hell? A telepathy? Communicate with my head? Does he know what I think of when I'm in bed every day? He was telling me to help him. He was Jacob's guy. I just told Jacob I didn't need this help. But no, Jacob was worried about me. So fine, I dropped my lead on the sheriff. Instead, I was more curious on who was communicating with my head, and I went to the location, encountered more Baron's men. I took care of them, then finally met the voice. His name was Sven. He heard my heroic acts in Castor Woods because of Jacob and Jacoavius, and that he wanted to help me against my journey with the Baron. In return, I helped him and his people back. He said that he wanted me to save his men. Fine. I went there, cleared out Baron's men and zombies along the way. Oh gosh, they were badly wounded. I gotta get them out of here. Sven told me to return their people in their cave. I went there and I was surrounded by many different people. It was kind of making me uncomfortable. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of liked it in some way when they look at my you know what I mean. I met their leader and she wasn't exactly the type of grandma who bakes cookies for you. She was grumpy and all that crap. And I also met this baddie named Selby. We made a plan. If we could connect a radio transmitter to antennas and the largest tower in Old Town, we could spy on the Baron's soldiers and see what they're planning. Without wasting time, I traveled there, climbed this antenna, and beating this random zombie with my bare hands. They told me to get a radio from the Baron's men. Oh gosh. Upon arriving there, I was immediately ganged up by volatiles and I snatched this man's radio and my guy! Baron's soldiers would rather kill me than defend themselves from the volatiles. I was running for my life, hoping volatiles wouldn't catch my ass, and I finally lost them. Ew! I went back to Selby. She tasked me to get another transmitter from a military convoy. Oh my gosh. I really hope this works. And to my horror, there were big boys and a horde of zombies. I started whooping them all to the 9 realms of hell and then used my furry mode to kill this big boy. I got the transmitter, some useless stuff, and a gun, which I can't use for my challenge. Afterwards, I then connected the transmitter here, went to Old Town, climbed this huge tower, and connected the other transmitter. And Selby contacted me. She said it worked, but oh no, there was a twist. Baron's men were planning to bomb the town hall with explosives underground. Oh my gosh! I hurried there and started beating Baron's soldiers, and I dealt with another big boy. I have dealt this big boy in the past, but this time, I'm not so weak. We were having the time of our fight. I easily came out on top. I defused the bomb and saved Town Hall once again. And after that incident, I checked every place in every corner of Old Town to see if any of the Baron's men were doing something mischievous behind my back. But all I found was random zombies and basically nothing. After I made sure everything is fine on my site, Olivia contacted me again. She found another chimera for me to kill. I drove there and we talked for a bit and she told me the location of the chimera. I went there, the chimera showed himself, and our fight was kinda easy. It only took a few of my punches to finish him off. I snatched his blood, injected myself. Olivia was gone the moment I got back. Huh? Wasn't she here to wait and pick me up? Well, I was guessing she went out to get some pizza, but whatever. Huh? Jacoavius? He was bleeding to death. I gave him first aid. I said my regards to Jacoavius, and after a while, Lydia and Selby told me she got information about the Baron's whereabouts and his goons. I went to the location, gathered up with a member of the Exile. He wanted me to go there and snatch a scientist and Baron's research for more information. There were more bandits, and I can't just kill all of them with my base form, so I released my furry mode and slaughtered them all one by one, and I finally got this scientist. His name was Dr. Camilo or Maran? I don't know. I cleared out a pathway for him so we both escaped and got him to safety. He then gave me a key for archive, but gave me a choice if I wanted to go with them. I decided to make them wait and I went back there, sneakily killed some bandits, and before I could go back, Baron's soldiers were already on my lead. Oh sh! But the bandits there weren't letting it slide. It was war. I decided to f it. I'm gonna get out of here and not get involved. Hopefully they don't notice me. But oh my gosh, Baron's soldiers saw me. I grabbed this car, drove away as quickly as possible. Phew, that was a close one. I went back to Lydia, and it felt like something was missing. Dr. Moran was not there. Wait, what? And it got to me. Oh my gosh! I completely forgot about them. I'm so stupid. I investigated everywhere and oh no! And as I got there, their vehicle was destroyed. I killed the remaining horde on this area and Dr. Moran wasn't in the car, but rather the exile guy. There was a possibility he was alive. I investigated this house and oh! There he was! Just then, Lydia and his gang just came out of nowhere. She called me stupid? After all that work, I decided to get some fresh air myself and forget about everything that has happened. I was worried about Olivia for just disappearing like that and lost contact, but I shouldn't worry, should I? I decided to do some work, explore this abandoned station. Wait, what the hell is that? Oh, a chimera! And guys, I shall present you the worst boss fight ever. This chimera just kept on running like a coward and then relying on his buddies to beat me, but nah, I'm too strong for them. I released my furry mode inside of me and then I pounded them into the next dimension. I then injected myself with his blood and then went back to Lydia and Dr. Moran. Told me to investigate and get a sample of a volatile so that Lydia can enhance her power. I went outside and upon arriving there, I was already dumbfounded by this place. What the hell is that? A volatile? Oh, it can go invisible? How am I gonna beat that thing? Ugh. I started punching the air in hopes of hitting this volatile, and I did hit him a few times, but it only take a teeny little bit of damage. I thought of a new strat. What if I wait for him to attack and spank his head? But dang, he was getting the hang of me and knocked me down on my knees. But I wasn't gonna give up. I was so far in this journey. If I can't beat this volatile, how am I gonna beat the Baron himself? He was so strong he can take hits from my furry form. And after a while, he was mad at me and wasn't going to be invisible. This was it. I activated my furry mode once again and started fighting this volatile hand to hand. And after beating each other up, I came out on top. After that fight, I was exhausted. I sat there, but I can't stop. I still need the samples for Lydia. I sneakily took 3 samples from Volatile. Oh sh**! They caught me lacking. I ran as fast as I can, but everywhere I go, I see their face. My last desperate attempt to lose them, I destroyed this rock and sealed off the entrance. I went back to Lydia, gave her samples, and before I can go, Lydia had to break the most devastating news of my life. Remember about the car incident back there? I was wrong about pizza time. While I was fighting the Chimera, the Baron took Olivia without me knowing and drove off. Huh? How could this be? The woman who saved my life. The woman who made me stronger, mentally and physically. I couldn't leave her to suffer at the Baron's place. What am I supposed to do? I'm not even strong enough to rescue her or go alone. How can Lydia rely on me? I'm just a No! Instead of crying like an idiot, I needed to end what the Baron started. So I started training intensely. I pulled out all my anger on those zombies and using them as my punching bag, fighting my own demons, killing this huge monster, helping other people, and taking more steroids. And after a while, Lydia contacted me. She wanted to test me now if I was ready for the Baron. She explained that if I can get a medicine and beat her challenge, then I was definitely ready to take on the Baron and save Olivia. I went to the hospital, started speedrunning it, and I did get the medicine, but in the end, I also got caught. I moved as fast as I can, and I escaped easily. This is what I trained for after all. I went back to Lydia and Camilo, but our conversation was interrupted by the Baron's men trying to attack the city. I wasn't surprised anymore. I was an alpha this time. I walked there like a Sigma and started manhandling Baron's soldiers. 10v1 he, Baron. You were always a piece of shit. If you were so strong, why not face me face to face instead of relying on your goons? I started destroying them all with my combat skills and the taste of my fist. Nothing can stop me. The Baron's soldiers tried using mortars and stupid gas substance to at least stand a chance against me. I slaughtered them one by one and destroyed the gas. Man, that was a piece of cake. Huh? Another one of those? Ugh. I wasn't as weak as back then. My spanking was doing more damage. No matter how much this type of zombie trained their butt cheeks, they never stand a chance against an alpha prime furry like me. But it wasn't over. I was shocked upon looking behind me. Two of them! Ugh! I wasn't scared. I was pissed. I started beating them up and taking turns on them, and it got so bad where the other Chimera got so scared and had enough and betrayed his own buddy. I guess he didn't want the smoke. Just then, somebody appeared. Someone I never expected to come back. Sheriff? Was she the one behind all this? Does she want to throw hands with me? She stopped me and explained that she was sorry. I wasn't having her betraying me like that. Lydia appeared behind me and stopped me from doing the inevitable. The sheriff didn't intentionally betray me. She was only defending her people and herself. Fine. I let it slide this time, and it was time. Before taking on the Baron, we needed more allies, and remember the Beast, my furry twin? We were talking about a plan on capturing him and turn him into our ally. We wasted no time, started getting this weird ass gas thingy. Lydia then gave me a bat which I declined since for this challenge, I should not use weapons. I started driving around the city with the red gas substance, and after a while, the beast was already chasing me. I crashed onto a rock and then it was time for me to 1v1 him. I still remember the time he manhandled me and I was getting rock hard by looking at him. And two half-naked men fighting. This fight was getting spicy already. I was holding back though because I was getting too distracted by his muscles. It was pretty angelic seeing him fly like that. I had to go back on my mind and stay focused. Lydia told me to knock the beast out. I couldn't knock him out on my base form. I then showed my furry twin my powerful beast. And before knocking him out, I grabbed a piece of his cheeks. Lydia then used her powers to stabilize him and returned him to his human form. We brought him to the cave, and I still couldn't get over of how handsome he was. He woke up, getting all defensive. His name was Aiden. He explained that the whole reason why he got captured and lost control was because of me? Huh? He elaborated that he and his ex-boyfriend was looking for me and that they failed and got captured in the process. Oh, maybe it was an old friend of Haran. He was gay? Just then, our conversation was interrupted by the Baron himself. To my horror, I heard Olivia screaming, getting tortured. The Baron wanted Aiden back as his personal play toy. He was done with me and said I was getting too old for him. He doesn't want to use my anymore. We started preparing for our ultimate showdown with the Baron. We all went to sleep. Selby woke me up. He said Aiden gone off to his own. Now I gotta rescue Aiden and Olivia. I gotta admit, no matter how charming Aiden was, he was kinda arrogant. This was the end game now. So much has happened in this without weapons challenge. So we gathered up like the Power Rangers and started invading the Baron's palace. I wasn't the chill guy anymore. I pulled out my furry mode against those soldiers while Lydia mind controls these virals and take over the Baron's palace. Everything was getting destroyed in the way. I rushed my way inside and destroyed everybody on my way. I was getting close to the Baron, but Olivia and Aiden was the priority here first. Who knows what they're doing to them? Damn it! He tricked me again, and I was fighting in his dirty arena. To my surprise, Lydia mind controlled the rest of them to be my ally and made my life a lot easier. Before I could go, I gave these three chimeras a name: Jairus, Darius, and Quavius. I continued my exploration and finally found Aiden! Gosh, what did they do to him? He was breathless. I unchained his cuffs and then something was closing behind me. Huh? Huh? Olivia? No! Olivia! No! This can't be! Baron appeared in front of my eyes and he explained that Olivia was his ally all along. All the help from her, all the kindness from her, all the affection was all fake! And it was Baron's master plan all along. He was always above me, ahead of us. Dang it! He mocked me, saying how soft my cheeks was and how small my dingalang was when I was his play toy. He has a new one, more handsome, more bigger, and more thicker than me. Baron was not only mocking me, he was beating up the ones I cared about in front of me. Olivia stood up, looking at me with a gun. She was about to kill me. I was looking at her directly with my puppy eyes. Did she forget everything we went through? All the things she had given me? It was all an act. It was very unbelievable, seeing the very person who saved my life turn out to be a traitor. How can it be? No! She couldn't kill me after everything we went through. She couldn't do this. She aimed at the Baron, but the gun was empty. She then grabbed the knife and stabbed the Baron's eye. She chose the right side. I knew it, Olivia. Our journey was real. Me and Aiden went after the Baron, and this is where our ultimate and epic battle begins. Throughout this entire journey, all this suffering, all these fights, it finally led to this point. Aiden was the god of shooting while I was the god of physical strength. And together, we worked together to beat the Baron. But this madman was tankier than I thought. He was tanking hits from my furry mode, and it took one kick to send me away. He was leagues above anyone I fought in this journey. The whole battlefield was intense, but I had to send Aiden off because Lydia and the others were getting shot at. And this was it. Me and the Baron had a show off. He finally showed his true form. Our fight was so intense, creating shockwaves, trading blows, and the place itself was breaking because of us. We were equal in skills, strength, and speed. I was giving it all. This is what I have been training for! He hit the spot. My heart was pounding. My head was aching like a hammer. I was super exhausted. I couldn't even stand up. Am I gonna lose? Now, I wonder, can you beat Dying like the beast without weapons? Would I beat the entire game relying on my puny hands, and can I beat my biggest rival after 13 years of torture? My only goal now was to take revenge. Olivia explained, if I wanna be stronger, then I shouldn't be a twink and man up for my ultimate fight with the Baron. Just like that, the Baron was defeated. It has been a journey. So much has happened, but there was still one problem. I was torn apart between choosing Aiden or Olivia to live my life with, but it will come to a conclusion sometime, as me and my crew stood there watching the sunset. So, can you beat Dying Light without weapons? Of course! Don't click off yet. Wait. I just wanna say thank you all for watching till the end, and like and subscribe if you enjoy my biggest video that I worked hard for, and follow my Twitch. That's all, and see ya.